Seth Meyers is late night. We hope you're doing well tonight. And now, if you don't mind, we're going to get to the news. When asked in a new interview about the recent market volatility surrounding his tariff policies, President Trump said, quote, "What I have to do is build a strong economy." Cool, whenever you're ready. President Trump yesterday signed more executive orders. In related news, happy National Wet T-Shirt Day. President Trump signed a proclamation last week declaring March as Women's History Month and added, quote, "Women have done a lot for us. In fact, sometimes they do so much, you have to pay them $130,000 in hush money." President Trump said last week, why not? President Trump said last week he's considering imposing sanctions and tariffs on Russia. "No, you're not," said the plant in his office. That's right, President Trump is considering imposing sanctions and tariffs on Russia, which means we're all going to be paying a little bit more for our caviar? I can't pay more for caviar and eggs. My caviar omelet's already so expensive. The makers of Sesame Street announced they're laying off more than 200 employees. And to the count, now's not the time. Just cool your jets. A New York longevity clinic has announced recently it will offer a $250,000 annual membership that includes anti-aging treatments. You ever notice how it's only super wealthy people who want to live longer? That's why anti-aging treatments are $250,000, but a Taco Bell Supreme Luxe box is $5.99. Here's a 10. Take me out. Sotheby's Auction House announced last week that it will host a sale of rookie jerseys belonging to basketball legends Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant that is expected to take in $20 million, while Shaq's rookie jersey is still being used in yacht races. Wrong jersey, not his rookie. He wasn't a rookie for the Lakers. Yeah. I'm sorry, we have to go back to the top of the show. And finally, Panera Bread has announced that it will offer a green version of the chain's famous bread bowl in honor of St. Patrick's Day. The way it works is they just leave it out overnight. And that was a monologue, everybody. We are off and running. We've got a great show for you tonight. He is an award-winning actor, you know, from timeless classics like Taxi Driver and The Godfather Part 2, as well as incredible modern cinema epics such as The Irishman, Meet the Parents, and Killers of the Flower Moon. His starring in the new Netflix series 0 Day, as well as The Alto Nights, which is in theaters later this month. The great Robert De Niro is here, everybody. Always amazing to have him. She's an Emmy-nominated actress you know from shows such as It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Hacks, and The Mick. You can see her in ABC's hit show High Potential. Kaylin Olsen is back, everybody. And she is a best-selling author. His latest novel, Dream Count, is out now. I'll be chatting with Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. Can't wait to talk to her as well. We got authors, we got actors. Family trips this week. My brother and I talked to Wilmer Valderrama and Freddie Rodriguez. It was a fantastic conversation with two wonderful guys. And now, moving on. This morning, I'm eating a bowl of cereal. Doesn't matter what kind. When all of a sudden I get one of those loud emergency alerts on my phone. You know what I'm talking about, the ones that are like, and I'm like, what the hell is going on, right? And so I grab my phone and I read the alert and it says, warning, a rare species of migrating tree frogs has made... Wait, I'm so sorry, I think I could be wrong, but I think I smell some smoke and that can mean only one thing. It's time for You Burn! Just need to catch my breath after that interminably long preamble. Never give writers permission to not have me check the script. Welcome to the Burn Zone. We got a lot of topics to sizzle through and not a lot of time. Over here is the burner. Let's turn on the gas and load her up. Woo-hoo-hoo! Sweet Texas chin music. First up, springing forward. Hey, springing forward, if I wanted to lose an hour, I'd just watch Adrian Brody's Oscar speech. Sideburn Brody. Nothing like waking up in a panic the first morning of daylight savings and realizing your kids have exactly 6 minutes to get to swim lessons. Looks like it's another year of using floaties, fellas. Springing forward, I don't think you realize the havoc you're wreaking on kids' sleep schedules. It was 2 days ago, and they're still all groggy like they've been popping pills with Parker Posey in Thailand. Springing forward, suck my clock. You burnt. Vampires. So let me get this straight. You're 400 years old and can't be exposed to sunlight? You don't sound like a scary monster. You sound like a U.S. congressman. Sideburn Congress. Also, vampires, you can't go in the sun and you sleep in a coffin. Are you sure you're not just depressed? Because you sound like my goth nephew Kevin. Also, you turn into a bat? Am I supposed to be afraid of an animal that gets stuck in tennis nets?
What about the Toby bat?
Oh, yeah. Fair point. Thanks for keeping me honest. And let me see if I have this right. You have superpowers and want to kill me, but you can't do anything unless I invite you in? Are you a monster or a Jehovah's Witness? Also, vampires, it's a little tough to be scared of someone who can die from garlic bread. Oh no, Dracula's coming. Whatever will we do? I don't know, take him to Olive Garden? Vampires, the sun just came up, so you burnt. Dried fruit. Oh, you like fruit? Well, what if it was mummified? Let me get this straight. You're dried up, wrinkly, and incredibly unpopular? You don't sound like food. You sound like a U.S. congressman. Double burn Congress. Yeah, I hear you. Trust me, dried fruit, I tried, I really did. My GI doctor told me I should eat more of you because it'll be good for my digestion, and it's true. I have never done more farting.
You guys should have heard what was going on at the desk during the show tonight.
Why? What does it sound like?
Are you sure?
Yeah, go ahead. It's 12:30 at night. We have fun. Dried fruit, shrivel up and die. You burnt. Cursive, finally an answer to the question, what if the alphabet got drunk? The reason the word curse is in cursive is because when people see it, they say, I can't read your goddamn ass handwriting. Cursive, you're the worst thing I've read since Twilight New Moon.
He said was stuck in Minneapolis airport and his flight was delayed several hours. His phone died, and I guess he must have left his charger in the hotel room. Just a confluence of terrible circumstances. Also, real talk, he liked it. Team Jacob.
Also, cursive, why don't the upper and lowercase letters look anything alike? If Child Protective Services saw an uppercase G with its lowercase counterpart, they'd arrest it for kidnapping. Imagine it now or imagine it later, but I think it's a pretty solid joke. Cursive, take the cursive L, because you burnt. QR codes. Why futz around with a paper menu when modern technology allows me the convenience to just scan a QR code, wait 30 seconds for it to load, realize I don't have service, try to log into the guest Wi-Fi network, realize it doesn't work because it's for the hotel next door, which has the same name as the restaurant because the restaurant is in the hotel, ask the waiter for the Wi-Fi code, get online, and enjoy reading the menu on a tiny screen. QR codes, I don't want to have my phone out in a restaurant. I want to be present and have a real conversation with my buddy who I haven't seen in forever. And sure, I'll take out my phone to some point to show him a cute picture I took of my kids. And since it's out, maybe check my text for 5 to 10 minutes before moving on to Instagram until I see a post that says my friend Kevin has cancer. And then I'll say out loud, oh no, did you know Kev Dog has cancer? And my buddy across the table says, Seth, I am Kev Dog. For more burns on QR codes, scan the QR code appearing on your screen. But for now, QR codes Q are burned. The Dow Jones Industrial Average, aka the Kaplan Beta for guys who calculate their Sortino ratio in Excel. You're the index that shows up to FOMC meetings thinking quantitative tightening is what happens when you hit your margin call at Goldman. Come on, Dow Jones Industrial Active. Why are you still using price weighting like we're still in the era of ticker tape machines? Even the S&P 500 updated its methodology, and they still think ESG scores affect beta. Sideburn S&P 500. I said sideburn.
Oh, sorry. I kind of slipped out there.
Hey, Dow Jones Industrial Average. Remember the S&P 500 inclusion criteria meant positive GAAP earnings? Now it just means your negative free cash flow is large enough to qualify as adjusted EBITDA accretive.
Enough.
Fine. Dow Jones Industrial Average, you burnt. Convertibles, or as birds call them, really fast toilets. Nothing says my adult kids won't return my text like owning a convertible. Let me guess, this is your first convertible, but it definitely isn't your first marriage? The problem with riding with the top down and feeling the wind in your hair is that we can all tell those are plugs, Harold.
How is your business trip to Turkey, Harold?
Plus, you think you're going to be whining around the Italian countryside, but it's not so romantic when you're bumper to bumper on the Pulaski Skyway en route to an IKEA to return a solder ham sectional you just bought for your new bachelor pad and wolf down a few trays of meatballs.
You come in and you're waiting for a Pilates instructor, Harold, but you get demanded the hole inside you.
And uh-oh, is that rain I feel? Nothing says I've got it all together like struggling with a tarp for 45 minutes at a Costco parking lot. No surprise you don't know what to do if this car gets wet, Harold. Clearly you haven't gotten anything wet in years. Yeah, no, I think that was assumed. Thanks. Hey, convertibles, you're burnt. Snow globes, the fool's trinket. Ye cursed orbs of false winter's breath sitting upon our shells with smug countenance, perched like glass-bound jesters. Mocking gentle frost, dost thou think I cannot see through thy crystal walls of deceit? Those tiny figurines frozen mid-stride, doomed to weather thy artificial storms for eternity like damned souls in a snow-flecked hell. Poor souls. Oh, poor, wretched souls. What sorcery convinced mankind to trap winter's essence in your aqueous prisons? Ye most arrogant of baubles, most treacherous of spheres. And yet even as I curse your very existence, my hand reaches forth to shake you once again, and that is your most wicked sorcery of all. That even those who know your true nature cannot resist your hypnotic dance of ersatz snow, and now, oh, do I find that I have become one of the doomed souls I pity? Am I myself trapped in a giant hellish wintry marble of my own making? Curse you, snow globes, and curse the fates that keep me trapped inside you until I say the magic words that free me from your ceaseless, never-ending blizzard. You burnt. Autocorrect. Let me say this in words you can understand. You're the ducking worst pert of having to taupe. Pisces of ship. Thanks a lot, autocorrect. I definitely meant to tell my niece to have the breast time on spring break. And also, thank you for teaching a generation of teenagers that they don't have to learn to spell. I'm just glad this technology didn't exist when the great novels were being written. Moby Dick would have been a lot different book if it had started Call Me Shameless. Also, it definitely would have been called Moby Disc. Autocorrect, you brunt. Oh, goddammit, that buzzer means we're all out of time. This has been You Burnt.